Hello there, fans and frenemies. Nate Drakenator here, and here is something you've all been waiting for. OC lore! Well, sort of. Allow me to finally formally introduce you to my own original open species, the Kaishark. My Fursona Nightbite is a Kaishark. My previous Fursona had been a design I really liked, but had no real lore or story for. But with Night and their species, I really sat down to explore the creature I was creating. So today, we are going to start first with physical traits, then with behavior, and finally world building. And then we will finish off with some species rule. That's right, rules, because this is now an open species, meaning you can make your very own Kaishark. Kaisharks are a semi-aquatic species. They are mammals, but generally are covered in scales or skin, and to the touch feel like a shark, rough and scratchy. They are also known to grow hair or manes, though, and occasionally small patches of fur in other places other than their head and their neck, though it's usually pretty sparse. A Kaishark stands on 2 digitigrade legs, but have been known to drop down on 4 while climbing, jumping, or running. While generally a bit slow and cumbersome on land due to their gangly limbs and posture, they are extremely fast in the water. Kaisharks are obligate carnivores and cannot digest food other than meat. Their diets consist mostly of fish and crabs. They are extremely good hunters in the water, fast, agile, and quiet swimmers, like a cross between a shark and a sea monster. Kaisharks are able to swallow several fish whole and hold onto them in a second pseudo-stomach to regurgitate later after they're done hunting. Kaisharks are highly intelligent, but generally not known to be interested in technology. While many Kaisharks take advantage of technological advancements or items or behavior deemed civilized, like furniture and electricity, most choose to stick mainly to more feral-type lifestyle, hunting and living in a typically solitary-ish fashion. A typical Kaishark home is a sea cave equipped with a nest of anything from packed mud to an actual mattress, and hoarded trophies like skulls and shells, or keepsakes like books and other common goods. Most Kaisharks find themselves easily frustrated by monetary systems and opt to instead barter fish or sea treasures for goods if they want them. Kaisharks live almost exclusively near the ocean, but a small population of freshwater Kaisharks do exist, specialized to live in bogs and swamps. It is extremely rare to find a Kaishark taking up residence near an open freshwater location like a lake or river. Generally speaking, sea Kaisharks and freshwater Kaisharks are unwilling to enter fresh or saltwater, respectively. Kaisharks cannot live in open water because, while they can hold their breath for 4 to 6 hours at a time, they still require air to breathe. Kaisharks, as a species, do not possess any natural sexual dimorphism and all share the same reproductive traits. However, they are an intelligent species, and while Kaisharks historically and culturally are genderless and default to they pronouns, it is not uncommon for Kaisharks to choose different pronouns after interacting with other races or communities and being introduced to them. Kaisharks lay eggs, but never more than a single clutch in a year. Kaisharks are born extremely small and completely blind, and if neither the carrier nor the sire are present when the clutch hatches, they are usually quickly devoured by predators due to their habit of immediately honking and barking when they hatch. Most Kaishark parents lose their first clutch because of this, but if a parent is around when they hatch, they will swallow all of the freshly hatched babies into their first pseudo-stomach to keep them safe, the one I mentioned earlier that they usually use for fish. Typically, hatchlings will spend most of the first 2 or 3 weeks of life like this before they grow big enough to survive outside of their parents' care. Because of this, many other species mistakenly believe Kaisharks are cannibalistic by nature and frequently eat their young. Their species has a very poor reputation, and due in part to this, and part to their solitary nature, they mostly keep to themselves and have very little interaction with others. Within a year and a half, a young Kaishark will have learned to hunt sufficiently on its own and set off to find its own cave. Though sometimes they do live in small communities. Kaisharks have a life expectancy of just 20 to 30 years. Kaisharks have paws with pads and claws as well as thumbs and fins on each forearm. They also feature a shark fin on their back and a very long, sinewy tail. Kaisharks feature a variety of different fins on their heads, though 2 triangular flat fins on each side of their face is the most common. Their heads are a shape that's sort of a cross between a shark, a dog, and a velociraptor, with a soft triangular nose and semi-canine teeth. They also frequently grow a variety of horns, though all are relatively short, even if sometimes ornate. All Kaisharks have black sclera and a pupil color that matches their tongue and blood in hue. Most Kaisharks feature very bright markings on a black and white base, but they have been known to appear in every imaginable color and pattern. I've got 3 examples of my own Kaishark OCs. The main one, obviously, is my Fursona Nightbite. Night is a little uncommon for their species, with a lot of horns and 3 fins on each side, but not especially unusual. Next up is Strike, who you can see has the similar traits like the white and single color on a black base coat, as well as the black sclera. Shrike lacks a mane, though, and has somewhat smaller fins than Knight. Also, his colors change to white after he's dead and a spooky ghost Grim Reaper. Lastly, this is a character whose name I can't quite settle on and keep changing, but we'll call her Epoch for now. She's mainly black and purple, and you can see she has a white mane and a similar patterning to Nightbite, though her fins are all chewed up. She also gets a spooky white palette swap when she dies and also becomes a Reaper. So that basically covers the Kaishark as a species. They're a sinewy sort of sea monster that can hop up on two legs and walk around on land with a long tail and head fins. They are now officially an open species, meaning you can just make one, make as many as you want. In fact, you don't need my permission to do so at all. I do ask you please not make any that are too similar to Nightbite for obvious reasons, but that doesn't mean yours can't be like black and pink or really stripy or anything. Just, use your good judgment. Well, that's it then. Go make one. Have fun. That's all for this time, folks. Nader's out.